Well, I started this year. I started in Cyprus. When I came, it was in the last position team. It was really challenging because the team was with only 2 points. And after 3.5 months, another club of the country, it's a little bit bigger, they bought me, trying to become a little bit better in the position because they were five. And we finalized second in the league, and we get access to the Champions League. That was the first time in the history of the club that the Champions League became as a trophy of the end of the year. But when they told me that they would prefer to go with another coach, maybe with experience in Champions League, and I finally signed with another team in first division here in Cyprus. And then I'm 7 months, and it's going to be my third team.
Wow. You must be enjoying life in Cyprus then, you're saying.
Yeah, in Cyprus, the weather is fantastic. Also, the league is not bad. Of course, it's not like Premier League, of course. But in the end, there are teams, the historical teams like Apoel or Omonia, teams that they played sometimes in European competitions. Well, it's amazing, because I saw him 3 years ago when he arrived from Uruguay here to Europe, to Spain in that case. And I'm very happy to see him that he's progressing, that he's doing very well, and he get the opportunity to go with one of the biggest team in the world. Well, I remember that we arrived because in that period I was the second coach of Guti, the former Real Madrid player, and he took the Almeria, and I was with him as a second coach. I remember that in that period, everybody in the club was very surprised and really expected about Guti, because he's a genius and a superstar here in well, it was in Spain and Real Madrid. And in few trainings that we took the team, we can see that Darwin had something special, that we saw easy that Almeria is small for him. Yeah, sure. Everything that he was doing was in another level. It was the speed of execution was completely in front of the rest of the players of the league, not only in the team of the league of second division in Spain. Well, he was a really important player. You mean like this, that he was a very important player for the team. Also, the teammates knew, that he is going to leave earlier, that he's not going to stay longer in Almeria, because everybody was watching him in the stands, was full of people watching him. Also, we knew that this team is coming, the other team is coming, rumors, truths, and then in the end, we know that in short period, he is going to leave and he's going to do his way. Well, I think that Benfica was a really good step for him. It's we can say that it's a good team, of course. It's an amazing club, very big, of course. But I think it was a very good step for him. In the beginning, from Almeria to Benfica, it was a huge step, because even, okay, now Almeria is in first division in Spain, but in the end, it's a big for fans, for everything, the capacity of the stadium, history, titles, everything is quite much different between Almeria and Benfica. But even like this, I was thinking that maybe Benfica is going to be a team for 2-3 years maximum also. I think it's the combination of many things, it's not only just one thing that he has, but if I have to say something from the others, is that the change of the piece that he has and the speed that he can maintain in a long distance, it's something that is not happening in 10 meters. He can keep this speed for 30, 35, 40 meters. And then when he arrives in the end, the execution, he makes the definition inside the box that normally always the ball goes in the goal, Sometimes the goalkeeper is there, of course, but it's not a player that he send the ball outside. And usually, you can say high ratio of the actions that he finalized goes inside the three posts. Well, I think, of course, Fernando is a Spanish guy, and also I will protect him. But I think that Darwin is a little bit faster than him, It's and also when Darwin has the possession of the ball, he is very good player. He can control the ball. He can protect the ball. Maybe Fernando is doing the same actions with a little bit low speed. That also is good because you can do many other things in that ratio. But in my opinion, Darwin can do the actions faster, 100%, 100%. Because he's a player that from the stand when you are watching, you can feel that something is going to happen. It's not a cross that is going. That also it could happen, a cross from one of the wings, and then he's going to make anticipation, he's going to score, but probably he's going to find passes in deep, in penetration, and he's going to run, he's going to win the defender, and then you are going to see what is going to happen 3 seconds before, and this is what it makes you stand up, and to feel that something special is going to happen. I think that if the fans of Liverpool is looking for someone who is going to bring him up from the stands, from the seats, sorry, he's going to be one of the perfect place to do that, for sure. 100%, 100%. I think that he had one of the worst injuries that a player can have when he was 16 or 17 years old. And after that, he became stronger. It's very important when a player has this injury, and then he can develop himself and to keep working for this, and keep working to have this character and this mentality. I think that the mentality that he has, the ambition that he has, and the focus that he is doing is through the years that he is working for that. Well, I'm 100% convinced that he is going to make amazing things in Liverpool. He is the player that he can adapt to this system and the mentality of the club and the history of the club. He's a player that with mentality very strong, that he's young, but he is very strong mentality. He's a really hard worker. He's living for football. He's fighting for his dreams. The dream come true, I think, and then in the end, I know that he is going to recognize where he is, what it means to be a Liverpool player, and I'm 100% convinced that he is going to give many things to the fans of the Liverpool.
Brilliant. And with Mane leaving and Mo Salah looking like he might leave next season, do you think Darwin will become Liverpool's main man? Do you think he can be the guy who takes them into the future in the evolution of the team?
Could be. He has all the points for to be this. You never know, because in the end, this is football and sometimes could change. But if you have to make a list of points, a checklist, you are going to make yes, 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 and to the end, he can be a perfect candidate to be one of the references in Liverpool for the next years. Definitely, I think that I don't want to say that they are similar, because I think that Darwin could be maybe a little bit more flexible. He's a player that he can change the direction a little bit faster than that Haaland is doing. Maybe Haaland is a little bit more power player, and when he started, he broken everything in front of him. But I think Darwin can change a little bit faster the direction, and for the style that Liverpool can do, I think it's more fit Darwin. I think that nobody spoke about Darwin, in media or in a publicity, that it's not the brand that the other two can have, but it's going to be a very good surprise, it's going to be a very clever movement from Liverpool, because it looked like everybody was looking what he's going to do, Haaland, where he's going to go, the other one, all the media, all the newspapers, they were talking, and nobody was saying nothing in media, about Darwin, but I know him, I follow him, and I know that the one who is going to take him is going to be cheaper, the price that he's going to pay for sure. Yeah, but don't think that Darwin is the typical number 9 big that you send the ball and he's going to stop the ball and, like Haaland can do. It's a player that he used to play down. You are going to pass the ball down, through the ground. He's not a player that you are going to make long ball and he's going to stop the ball between 10 other opponents, and he's going to turn and he's going. I think he's not this kind of player. He's thinner, he's fast, he's technical, he has a good definition. I think he's a player that most of the time the ball will go to his foot.
Sure. No, that definitely makes sense. And from the bits I've seen, I agree.
But it's also good that he's tall, at the same time, because it's better. Of course, if there is some of the coaches, as you say, that he can improve the players, is the coach of Liverpool, and then in the end, I think he's in one of the best scenarios, or maybe the best team in the world right now, where he can keep improving, and I think that Darwin has still, he's in a good level, of course, but he has still a long way to improve. I think with his character, he's a home player. I mean, it's not a player that I think he loves the family. He loves the small atmospheres, and I think that if he feels comfortable in Liverpool, why not? He's going to stay there for long term. Well, when I was in Barcelona, I was used to travel around the world, and I was in the United States, I was in Japan, I was in many different countries, and also we study what happened and why different clubs, why different countries produce different players. If we are thinking about Spanish players, maybe they are going to be midfielders. If we are talking about Croatian, maybe they are going to be central backs, number 6 in this position, Modric, a little bit number 10, But in the end, the grassroots or the sociology of the country, it makes the in the end what happened with the players, and maybe in the grassroots they invite to the players to feel free. For example, in Spain we are very tactically. From when the players have 12 years, we are talking about tactic, we are talking about all these things. Maybe in Uruguay they are freedom. And then the family push to the players to take the ball and score, and maybe the players start to make a slalom, before to score a goal, and then the one who do these things well is the one who goes up, But in Spain, for example, I talk about Spain, is one of the countries that, of course, I know more. There are many tactical things behind the player, and we are putting limits to the freedom of the player, And then when you go to these kind of countries that they don't have borders, the players became these kind of players, that they are creative, that they are open, and they can do whatever they want.
I think you're right, actually. And I think Brazil's a good example of that, with the football they play on the streets, and then they end up having a skill. I think that might be right.
But when you talk about tactics, maybe to these players, when they come from South America to Europe, they need some period, to adapt to the tactics, to adapt to the movements, to adapt to the positioning, to adapt to the creative spaces. And then in the end is the good thing from South America, that they have this freedom, that they don't have borders, that they do whatever they want. But when they come to Europe, they have these limits that they have to adapt. And I think that Darwin did this step in Almeria, and they did it pretty well and pretty fast.